So this came up on the internet the other day as we take another side topic here. Hold on, let me create a marker. All right, so this came up the other day. Somebody was like, "Who is the greatest mid card wrestler in wrestling history?" And so this was trending on Twitter or whatever, and people kept putting Scott Hall in here as a mid carder, and I fought back against this because I don't view Razor Ramon at his peak to Scott Hall at his peak, pre drug interventions or whatever. Scott Hall's not a mid carder, nor was Razor Ramon. Now, was he at the top of the card? Was he headlining WrestleMania or anything like that? No.
Well, if you're not at
But
the
he,
top of the card, what are you? I mean,
but
no, he's not a jobber, but he's
okay,
never won a world title in any of the
no,
promotions.
no. Well, besides tag, but yes, but he's not. I always consider a mid card, if we want to use wrestling priorities, as threes and below, and he's not a three. He's a four, four and a half, and even though he's not main eventing if it's a singles match, he's still at the top of the card. Like
Did
he's
he
not.
did he ever
I mean, if he's
hold the
opening,
Intercontinental title?
he did, yeah, because he winds up losing it to freaking either the Brett or the Shawn Michaels. So, like, I don't, I can't call him a mid carder. Like, it just doesn't. There's something in between the Flair, Hogan's, or whatever, and like those dudes that are right underneath. Like in
So
that
that's like
era, like yeah,
that's kind of the threshold of like Triple H, who was the guy who wrestled the stars.
yeah.
Except
But he was in,
and probably
he was in the,
because he was banging the boss's wife, he actually
well, that's
has
fair.
the title runs to go against it. So, I
Yeah,
mean, from that perspective, if you want to create another threshold, then he's the guy who wrestled the stars and got
yeah,
matches out of stars who might not have otherwise got them.
and
And you
that's
can
definitely
almost put
Scott Hall.
Kurt Hennig in that category as well, who he had the AWA championship, but then after that, like he was capped at the Intercontinental title, US title. He was the guy who
Mm,
made the stars look good.
yeah,
So
Th- th-
if you want to create that category, then that's fine. But if you're going to draw the line between top of the card and jobber, he's a
mm,
mid carder.
everybody see that doesn't work for me, brother. Like Brutus
So
Beefcake is a mid carder.
j-
Brutus Beefcake is a
yeah,
mid carder. Beefcake is below what Scott
yeah.
Hall would be.
Well,
So,
but
like,
then we have
how?
the what our other category is like the Sunday Night Titans, right?
Yeah, the superheroes.
The Scott Norton and of the
Hmm.
worlds that always they only
But
win
see,
on
those dudes.
Sunday.
But see, those dudes are. I mean, even Scott Norton is below a mid carder. You know,
Yeah.
like where
We'll
are you
have a
putting
handsome Jimmy Valiant.
Buff Bagwell is a mid carder.
Buff Bagwell's a
That's
mid carder.
yeah, like the dictionary definition of a mid carder. Whether heel or babyface, he's a mid card dude. Scott Hall is levels above Buff. So I just kind of fought back against that. Like, well, people had the
He,
same argument. Did he main event
he's a
WrestleMania? Was he at the
he's a
top? Like, no, I understand.
he's an upper mid carder.
Yeah. See, yeah. He needs a different category. I couldn't let that go. Like the people were like saying he was mid card because mid card
Well,
almost sounds like it's almost an insult back in the day.
the other thing
And
too is like I'm sure that given everything we know now, nobody was going to put any significant
yes,
title on him because he was probably incredibly undependable. Other
correct.
than
Yes,
being able to pull off a match once you got there.
yeah.
But
Get the
I
match in
will
the ring.
say the storyline I would pay virtually any money to see pan out was when they had Flair committed to the insane asylum, and they turn around Scott Hall's in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to see how this story
Yeah.
plays out, and nothing ever again.
Yeah,
That
nothing else.
was the
Yeah,
worst
yeah,
because he just eventually disappeared because
yeah,
you didn't actually have to do anything to get paid in WCW, and then they
yeah,
randomly show him in some Russo-esque bullshit story
Yeah,
where it's like those two in the crazy house. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, I must have this.
yeah. I need 8 episodes.
What
All right.
streaming platform is this on? I must subscribe now. I will get Apple TV. I don't care.
All right, let's move on.